Good morning students. Today we will discuss about the complementary genes, that is a genetic topic. I am Dr.P.Uma Maheswari, Assistant Professor of Botany, the Standard 5 work Rajasthan College for Women. So what is complementary genes? So complementary genes are kind of gene interaction in which two dominant non-allelic genes that interact together to produce a specific phenotypes that neither can produced independently. So despite being the dominant, each gene with the complementary pair cannot generate independent phenotypes. So Punnett and Bastian in 1905 studied inheritance of flower color in sweet peas, that is Laurus auratus. He crossed with two white flowered varieties of sweet peas plant with different genotypes, that is recessive and dominant and recessive. So each variety bred through the produced white flowers in successive generations. For the first generation of phenotype, they crossed with the white flower and white flower. The one genotype is the dominant variety, and others also the dominant variety. The gametes are produced by the dominant, and another gametes are produced by the dominant. The F1 generation is crossed between the two generations. The first one generation will be displayed in the white flowered in 100% of dominant species. Then the genotypic character also the recessive dominant character and recessive character. The gametes also the dominant variety. So also the F1 generation is produced the dominant variety is 100% of white flower. So when two white flower varieties of sweet pea with different genotypes, that is dominant and recessive, were crossed. So offsprings produce the F1 generation where purple flower, that is genotypes, is the dominant. When F1 generation is purple flowered, plants are selfed. So in the F2 generation, both the white flowers and plant were produces in the phenotypic ratio, that is 9:7. The 9 ratio is the purple color and 7 ratio is the white flower. So the purple color is created by the interactions of two non-allelic genes that are in the dominant state. The purple color of the flower is due to the presence of pigment called the anthocyanin. So that is C is the chromogen and P is the anthocyanin. So dominant variety is produces the chromogen, and recessive variety is produces the anthocyanin. So now we cross over the white flower. Dominant, and that is chromogen and anthocyanin. The genotype is dominant variety and recessive variety. So the gamete is produced by one dominant and one recessive character. So finally we concluded that the F1 generation genotype is purple colored flower, that is dominant variety, and recessive variety is a self replication. So F1 gamete is two dominant varieties and two recessive varieties. So finally we crossed with the dominant and recessive character. The F2 generation produces the 9:7 purple 9:7 ratios. The phenotypic ratio is thus 9 purple color and 7 white flowers were produced. Then so anthocyanin pigment is produced by the interaction of two non-allelic dominant complementary genes C and P. That is a dominant gene G is responsible for the production of chromogen. When the gene is recessive, that is C, that is small c, the chromogen cannot be produced. So similarly, another dominant G P is responsible for the production of the enzyme that converts the chromogen into the anthocyanin pigment. So when this gene is recessive, the enzyme which converts the chromogen into the anthocyanin, so cannot be produces that the chromogen cannot be converted into the anthocyanin pigments because of recessive characters. So if a plant possesses both dominant complementary genes, that is C and P, that is and chromogen pigment, is produce the anthocyanin pigment, and thus flower will be purpled. So in the absence of either complementary genes, that is dominant character of the flower were white. So if a dominant C is alone is a present, that is chromogen is only chromogen is a present in the absence of its complementary gene, that is P. So flower color will be white, that is recessive character, that is white color flower in the dominant character. So dominant gene is a C produced precursor of anthocyanin pigment, that is chromogen, and the recessive complementary gene cannot be converted in the anthocyanin pigments because the dominant gene is the suppressor. If dominant gene P is alone the present, if the absence of complementary gene C, the flower color will be the white color because the anthocyanin pigment will be emitted. So if dominant gene C is absent, it is recessive allele, cannot produce the precursors of anthocyanin. So in this absence of precursor for anthocyanin, its complement about the gene P cannot be synthesized anthocyanin pigment. So the purple color is created by the interaction of two non-allelic genes that are in the dominant varieties. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this video will be helpful for your studies. Thank you.